now that we've discussed quite a few obstacles to good thinking, we've talked about feelings, prejudices, dependence on faulty authorities, groupthink, informal fallacies, and cognitive biases. Let's talk about some important goals of critical thinking. What are some reasons that we ought to learn critical thinking that are more positive? What are we trying to achieve? We're trying to prevent cognitive biases, informal fallacies from affecting our good thinking. What are the goals and what are we trying to achieve? Well, I think at a minimum, we are at least trying to obtain truth. If we're good thinkers, if we're critical thinkers, that means that we are trying to understand truth with a capital T. In all the little truths about the world, truth in politics, truth in ethics, truth in science, truth in mathematics. We're trying to understand truth. I think everything else really falls underneath the umbrella of truth. So for example, what we also want to do in critical thinking is learn how to make better judgments. We want to learn how to draw better conclusions, better judgments of people, better judgments of things that we read, better interpretations of the world. So we want to interpret the Bible or the Quran or the Constitution. We want to interpret books better. We want to interpret people's speech better. We want to interpret events better. We want to draw better conclusions, make better judgments. Those are goals. But the reason that we want to do that is because we want them to be accurate and true. Ultimately, I think that the overall goal of critical thinking is so that we can acquire truth. We can come to a knowledge of the truth. But what is truth? Very famous question. What is truth? I'm actually going to sort of break that down when we talk about argumentation a little later on. But I just want to say here that I think the dominating goal of critical thinking is that we are trying to obtain truth. Now, remember, I did mention that some people have defined critical thinking as just careful thinking towards a goal. And then the definition that I used was an awareness of a set of interrelated critical questions, plus the ability, desire, and willingness to ask and answer them at the appropriate times. But the reason that you want to cultivate the ability to do that, the reason you have a desire to do that, the reason you have the willingness to do that is because you want to understand what is true in the world. Truth is the ultimate goal toward which we're working and what we want to understand. And good critical thinking enables us to achieve or acquire that better.